haven't been looking into the camera. It's like very weird for me to do this because I'm not used to it. Thanks for joining me. Putting on some foundation. I'm just dotting it all over my face. I usually am pretty quick about this, and yeah, this is fucking awkward.
I also put makeup on my papada. Because I do have a lot of hair, and I like to cover that shit. I'm a hairy ass Mexican girl.
Like I said, we're just putting the foundation all over the face, including the papada. It's very important to cover that shit up because you don't want your man to be kissing your neck and then being like, what the fuck? What is this line? Anyway, let's move on. I'm about to blend this in with a Real Techniques beauty sponge. I've never used the beauty blender. I can't really justify $30, $25, I don't know how much it is, on a little ass pink sponge. So I always go the broke way and I buy the cheapest thing that I can find. I do believe in investing in product that is gonna last you a long time. Don't get me wrong, I do have some expensive palettes, but when it comes to blending shit out, if a $4 product is gonna work, I'm gonna use the $4 product. I remember the first time I wore eyeliner. I wasn't allowed to wear eyeliner. What's that? What I did was I waited to get to school, and I would get to school super early. And I would do my makeup at school. This is when I wasn't allowed to wear makeup, okay? I would do my makeup at school, and then I would wear it all day at school looking like a fucking raccoon with black ass eyes because I didn't know how to control myself. So I would do that, and then I would go home or get out of school, and on the way out of school I would like wipe everything off with like a wet paper towel. So now I'm gonna start the baking process. I usually like to do this before I start my eyeshadow, so I have a nice long time for that powder to really set into the skin and kind of go into the little creases and everything. I usually use, well, at the moment I'm using the Coty Airspun powder in translucent, and I mix it in with the little beige. I'm wiping off my lips. I hate having foundation and powder on my lips. I feel like it dries it out. And I usually put a little bit of lip balm. I put a pretty thick, I mean thick with 2 C's, layer on my lips so it has time to set in and really get my lips nice and moisturized. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the brows. I'm using the LA Girl Skinny Brow Pencil, and when I say skinny, I mean skinny. I like to comb down the brow to really get into those sparse areas that need the most lining, and I really don't have a go-to brown routine. It all depends on how much time I have. Today I have a little more time, so I'm taking my time with the pencil. Most days I just bust out the powder and I go for it. I just kind of do the arch and the kind of wing it out a little bit on most days. Today I have a little more time, so I'm gonna go a little full out. I didn't really like how my brow turned out today, but it gets better, you know, it just does. You know, makeup is kind of a thing that sometimes you have good days and sometimes you have bad days. Of course, can't really get focused on anything, but it is what it is. So right now what I'm gonna do is carve out the brow. I just put a little dollop of that Makeup Revolution concealer and I put it on a flat packing brush. I get a lot of my brushes on Wish. I'm not ashamed of it. You know, you get pretty good quality brushes. I really don't think that it matters what kind of brushes you have. You can have the most expensive brush and then still be a shitty ass makeup artist and not know how to use it. Or you could have mediocre brushes, what I would say, which I would say I pretty much do. I'm just a mediocre person all around. So, you know, don't go out and spend your money on fucking MAC brushes and shit if you don't have it. I mean, if you do, then hooray to you, but I'm not trying to do that. I really do like Morphe brushes. I think that they're great quality and a great price. Looks like Petunia is having a bit of a mental breakdown in the background. Yeah, so sometimes I blend it out with my finger. I'm wiping out the excess powder from the bake. It's probably been on my face for a quick minute now. Next what I'm doing is I'm getting a little bit of alcohol diluted with water and I'm spraying it onto a brush. This brush is a bit of a fluffy concealer brush and I'm just trying to take most of the product out so I could use it to blend out the harsh edges of my concealer. Most of the time I don't have time to wash my brushes and I feel that using a brush that's been washed in a little bit of rubbing alcohol really helps break down any kind of harsh patchiness when it comes to your concealer blending in with the powder that's already been on your forehead. I feel like it does a great job. See, now it doesn't look that bad. So now I'm just gonna powder the rest of my face. I start with the gizzard, aka the papada. I'm pretty generous with the powder, yet I don't use a lot of powder. I'm generous with it, but I don't overuse it. I put it all over my face, and it doesn't matter how much I put on it. Makeup still likes to get all over my clothes, but you know what? That's just another issue that I'm not willing to talk about at the moment. Let's move on. So I'm just gonna powder the rest. Yep. So we're gonna bronze the face now. Like I said, I don't use expensive products. That is a bronzer that I got from Essence Beauty. It was like $4, and I'm using an e.l.f. powder brush to start warming up the face. I like to start on the forehead, on the corners of the forehead, and kind of blend out now, and then I go alongside the temple and down the cheek. You gotta give that papada some love. I feel like when you put bronzer on the lower half of your face, it helps hide the insecurities a little better. And I think today I just did bronzing. I didn't go full on contour, which I will do in another video. I have to say that I've gotten pretty comfortable with contouring certain parts of my face. My camera died. So I decided to do my hair. Anyway. I've literally been sitting here doing my hair for about 30 minutes. So So moving along, we are going to blush the cheeks. I'm using a combination of a bunch of different blushes. But the main one is NYX's Ignite, which is a great dupe for MAC's Warm Soul. I no longer buy MAC's Warm Soul because they changed the formula and I no longer like it. It's just way too patchy. So NYX's Ignite Baked Blush is a good dupe, and so is Milani's Baked Blush in Amore. And sometimes I overdo it with the blush, but you can totally fix that by just adding a little bit of powder. I'm just kind of fixing the eyebrows after the entire contouring, or bronzing, more like bronzing. Like I said, I like to go heavy on the blush sometimes. I like to look like an Oompa Loompa, but you can fix that with powder. That's the beauty about makeup. It looks ugly in the process, but looks beautiful at the end. So now we're gonna move along to a little bit of eyeshadow. I'm using Too Faced's Peach palette. This is probably one of the more expensive palettes I have. It was about $52, and I don't regret buying it. I use it almost daily, and it has great colors, great bendability. I love it, and it smells amazing. So I'm using a fluffy brush, and I think I used Peaches and Cream as kind of like a priming color. And I just use a fluffy brush to do that. I don't know what I'm looking at right now, so I'm just gonna continue blending it in. I like to take it up to the brow bone. It's a pretty neutral color. I'm looking for a bending blush. Can't talk. And I'm dipping into Summer Yum, and I forget what that other color is. Basically, they're right next to each other. They're very like orangey, kind of tanny, kind of brownsy browns, and I like to use them as kind of a transition color, and it just kind of really gives a nice shade to the lid. As you can see, the blendability of them is awesome, and it very, very understated, and they smell extremely yummy. They literally smell like peaches. So now I'm going in on the, I'm pretty sloppy with this. I mean, what else is new? I'm pretty sloppy with everything in my life. Love, career. Anyway, I'm just gonna continue blending this out, kind of winging it out towards the brow a little bit. You can be pretty reckless with it and then just clean it up later. Like I said, this is an everyday look. You don't have to look perfect every day. As long as you try or attempt, you'll be fine. You'll be good. Some of these boys out here be blind anyway. So anyway, just continue blending that out. I like to go for more of like, I like to smoke it out a little. Just kind of make it look like a smoky, peachy kind of look. But, I mean, you can really do whatever the hell you want. Be your own person. Don't listen to me. So now I'm dipping into, I think that color is Candied Peach, and I'm just going to place it all over the lids. Get it to your desired intensity, I guess. I like to get it to kind of like a pinky, orangey, like salmon-y color. And I just really like how it looks together with those two transition colors in the palette. Like I said, I can't remember what the names of them are. But yeah, just kind of pack that shit on there. Don't be afraid. Your mama didn't raise no bitch, did she? I mean, it's okay to bitch out. I totally understand. I bitch out in everything in my life. But anyway, thanks for joining me, guys.
Tanner stopped recording again. I fucking...
Okay, now what I'm going to use is this really like fucked up e.l.f. highlighter. Okay, so when I bought this highlighter, it didn't do shit for me. Like, it had no pigment whatsoever. You scrape the top layer off and it's like the most pigmented, best